Do you know how to find a string is palindrome or not using recursion? If your answer to this question is no, then my friend, this video is for you. So please watch this video till the end. So let's get started. Alright guys, so let's see this problem. In this problem, we are given a string and our task is to find whether the string is palindrome or not. And the constraint over here is we have to use recursion. Yes, you heard that right. We have to use recursion to solve this problem. So before we move ahead, let's first understand what does it mean by palindrome string. So a palindrome string is said to be a palindrome if the reverse of that string is exactly same as the string itself. Okay, so let's understand this definition with this example. Here the given string is race car and this is the original string. If we do reverse of this string, it again becomes race car only. So we can say that this string is palindrome. And the other way to understand palindrome string is whether you read this string from left to right or right to left, you end up reading the same sequence of character. For example, if you start reading this string from left, you get RACECAR. And if you start reading this string from right, you again get RACECAR. And both the string meaning race car. Okay. So guys, I hope now you understand what does it mean by palindrome string. So this is what we have to find in this problem. That we are given a string and we have to find that the given string is palindrome or not. So I hope now you understand this problem really well. So let's move on to the next section of this video where we talk about the approach to solve this problem. Okay. As we know that we have to solve this problem using recursion, and if you know from previous video that in recursion we only care about two things. Number one is the least amount of work we can do, and the second one is when the process of recursion should stop. So let's consider the first point and see what is the minimum amount of work we can do here. So let's say if we have only one character, okay? So if we have one character, we can easily say that this is a palindrome string, right? What if we have two characters? In case of two characters, we can check if first and the last character is same or not. If both are same, then we can say that this is a palindrome. What if both the characters are different? In this case also we check first and last character. If we do not find that both characters are same, we simply say this is not a palindrome. Okay. And what happens if we have four characters? Again, we simply find the first and last character. If they are equal, then we can say that it is palindrome, and then we repeat the same step with the remaining characters. Okay. So here we are breaking problem into smaller problem. So we are checking first and last character and we are repeating the same step with the remaining string. Okay. And what if the string is given as ABC? Again we check the first and last character. If they are equal, then we move to remaining string. Okay. So the least amount of work we can do here is just to check the first and the last character. Okay. So far so clear. Now moving to when recursion process should stop. So in this case, let's say the string is given as ABBA, and you can see there are four characters in this string. Okay, and here the string is given as ABA, and here there are three characters. So maybe your string contains even number of characters or odd numbers of characters. And for example, we are using two pointers to keep track of first and the last character. So in this example, we first check A with A, we find that both are equal. Then we check B and B, we find that both are equal. And after B, we end up getting empty string. Okay. So in this case, our S is going to be greater than E, because initially the S is 0 and E is 3. Then we increment S by 1 and decrement E by 1. Okay. Our S become 1 and E become 2. Then again after checking B and B, we increment S by 1 and we decrement E by 1. So after this step, our S just crossed the E. So in that case, we have to stop. And we have to simply declare that the string is palindrome. Okay. So this is the first case. Now second base case is going to be, let's say we have odd number of characters in the given string. So in this case, we check character at 0 position and character at 2 position. Both are equal. Then we increment S by 1 and decrement E by 1. So in this case, our S and E becomes equal. So this is the case where we can say that the string is palindrome. Recursive function, we have to write two base conditions. one for the even number of characters in the string, and one for is the odd number of characters in the string. So these are the two observations we are going to use. First one is the least amount of work we can do to check if the string is palindrome or not. Okay, so in this case, what do? We check first and last character. If both are equal, then we check the same thing for the remaining string. Okay, and second thing is we have two base conditions here. First is for if the string has even number of character, and second is for if the string has odd number of character. Okay, and to keep track of first and last character, we use two pointer, one represented by S and second is represented by E. S is going to point first character and E is going to point last character. So this is the ultimate approach to solve this problem. So if you look at this example, race car, we are going to first check R with R, okay, first and last. Then the remaining string is A, C, E, C, A. Then we check A with A, we find that both are equal. Then we check C with C, we check both are equal. In the last, we end up with only one character. So we can clearly say that this is a palindrome string. So this is all about the approach. I hope you understood it. So now let's move on to the implementation to see how it's going to work. So here we have a function is palindrome, and this function is taking a string and starting index and the index of the last character. Okay, so we have combined the base condition. Okay, here two base conditions are combined to make it one. So if S is greater than equal to E, we simply return. This means either we have reached to the one character or S crossed the E. Okay, in both the conditions we simply return true. Okay, and then after if condition we are checking first character with the last character. If both the characters are equal, we simply making a call to this function by incrementing S by 1 and decrementing E by 1. And if first and last character is not equal, we eventually return false. So this is all about function. Now let's quickly try run this code and see how it works. So in case of race car, S is equal to 0 and E is equal to 6 because there are 6 characters from 0 to 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are going to call this function for 0 and 6. It checks, the execution begins from the first line. It checks if S is greater than equal to E. This time it is false. So we skip this if statement. Then we are going to check the character present at index 0 and character present at index 6 are equal or not. This time they are equal. So we make a call to 1 and 5. The same thing happens here. 1 and 5 are equal. Then this function is going to make a call for 2 and 4. Again this time both characters are equal. C and C are equal. Then we are going to make a call to 3 and 3. This time 3 and 3 is at the same position. So we hit the base condition where S is equal to E because 3 is S and 3 is E. In case of both are equal, we return control back to its parent return control back to its parent, and same thing happens up until the main function. So this return traverses all the way up to the main function and we get output as true. So this is how this function is going to work. Okay, now talking about the time complexity of this recursive function. So whenever we have recursive function, we generally write recurrence relation of the function. Okay, in this case, the time taken by this function is going to be time taken by recursive function by decrement the value of n by 2 plus some constant work. So here we are doing some constant work where we are checking S is greater than equal to E and so on. And why I am telling you n minus 2? Because in each recursive call we are checking first and last character. So we are reducing length of a string by 2 each time. Then we are checking A and A, then we are checking C and E. That is why. And after solving this recurrence relation, the time complexity comes out to be big O of n. And this is the upper bound of this function. So for those guys who do not know how to solve this recurrence relation, then I have created an entire playlist on analysis of algorithm. So if you have not watched that playlist, then I highly recommend to watch that playlist and come back here, and then you are going to understand this recurrence relation very clearly. So you will find the link of that playlist by clicking on the I button. Okay, so this is all about time complexity. Now what about the space complexity? So at max, how many functions are going to store in function call stack? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can assume that in worst case, we are going to require n space to store all the function call. So in terms of big O, we can say that the upper bound of the space complexity is going to be big O of n. So I hope guys you really understand this problem well, and now you have good understanding of how to write a recursive function to solve this problem. So on this note, let's end this video. And guys, if you have learned something valuable from this video, then hit the like button to make YouTube algorithm happy. Please subscribe to this channel and don't forget to click the bell icon so my friend you never miss any new video. So this is all from my side. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.